Hey DIY, it's Jonah here, and today we have a cool unboxing for you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Micro 3 M700, which is a double distance slider along with a slider motor. So what's cool about this whole setup here is that one, it's a very small form factor slider, and it's going to be replacing our old slider here, which had some casualties. We accidentally dropped it and we had to patch it up, so we had to do some surgery on it, and overall it's just kind of falling apart now. So we used it for about 3 years, I think, and we decided it's time for a new one here. And this one has a bunch of really cool features, and it is a big upgrade from the last one. It cost about 600 bucks on Amazon when we bought it. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this thing turns out. I'm going to give you guys the unboxing footage of it, and then we're going to take a look at it and see what features it has and see how it looks all set up, including how it works with this motor. So let's just jump into it. All right, so taking a look at what's inside the main box here. Now again, this is the M700. From what I've gathered, there are three, I guess, lines to this whole setup here, and essentially each one's going to move out a certain distance. So this is the middle of the line. I don't think we needed that much of a slide distance, so the middle of the line should be just enough. And upon opening the box, you have the Zeapon, however you want to call it. This is the actual slider. And here's your feet and everything. And then here are your stabilizer arms, which can go basically into the tripod, if I'm correct, to give it a little more stability if you want to mount it on a tripod, which we will be doing. There's not too much in the box here. Looks like you have, this looks like to be some kind of a replacement little rope. And then you have some Allen heads and everything. That is everything in the box too. Very, very simple. Not that much that comes in the box. I also see no instructions here in the box. If you're an instructions kind of guy, then it might be an issue for you. But overall, it shouldn't be too difficult to set up. Let's go ahead and move this off to the side now, and then I'll show you guys what's inside the slider motor box. And same nice like cloth packaging that it has coming with it. If you want to take this on the go and you want to disassemble it, I do like this. It doesn't seem too difficult to package. Everything comes nice and snug in the packaging too, which is a big plus. The slider motor. Okay, and then as far as the batteries that can go in this little pouch here, they don't give you one. You can put a F550, F750, and F950 battery in here. Just comes with a little cover that you can put a battery in, but it doesn't come with one, so just a heads up on that. Luckily, since we have another slider here, we don't need to buy one. We have plenty of them on hand, like this one. This is an F750 from GVM, and it plops right in here like this, and we have the battery good to go. So just keep in mind, if you are buying one of these, you might want to make sure you get a battery. I'll have to do some digging and figure out once this is all set up how this actually works, but it should be pretty easy to use, and the functionality of it should be pretty great. So I'm going to go ahead and set everything up for you guys, and then I will get back to you whenever it's all working and ready to go. Alrighty guys, we're back, and I wanted to give you guys a quick crash course on this entire slider here because it's pretty interesting, and unfortunately the instructions, although they're pretty straightforward, it took me a couple minutes to figure everything out. So essentially how this works is if you have your motor right here, this bottom piece connects onto the piece right here, and you'll just kind of like set it down, and you want to make sure it's all lined up, and then you'll just twist these thumb screws to the right on both sides, and they will kind of just mount together. And boom, your motor is installed. You can have your battery on the back here, or if you don't have a battery, you can plug this in to a connection right here. You can use either USB-C or like this little port, like this port jack right there. So yeah, you have options for how you want to plug it in. With the battery we have here, we're just going to turn this on by holding this button right here. And then you press this bottom right button to change the speeds. Now you have 1, 2, and 3. For the sake of just speed, I can show you number 3. You have a waypoint release button. I'm not too familiar with this one right here right now, but out of the box, it's gonna be manual, so you're gonna press the button and it's going to move on its own. But yeah, it moves pretty fast, and I think it does a pretty good job at doing that. It's very smooth, and additionally, it's pretty quiet too. It's a little loud on the 3 setting, but overall, it's not too bad. I'll bring my mic close to it so you can hear the sound of the 3rd setting of speed. So yeah, not too bad on the speed setting and how loud it is. It's even quieter on the lower settings. Like honestly, you can barely hear it on the lowest setting. I don't even know if the lab will pick that up, but yeah, it's quite quiet. So if you're using like a shotgun mic or something that you can actually hear the volume of a slider on, this is a pretty good slider to use because it's actually pretty quiet and pretty seamless too, and it's really smooth. So now I wanted to talk to you guys about the functions and all the buttons and how to actually set this up for automatic sliding. Now, unfortunately, when you turn this thing on and off, it will not remember the waypoints that you set, but however, it'll automatically stop when you get to the end of the motion that it can go. So It's not going to get into those weird like jerking scenarios where if you get to the very end of it, it's going to start spazzing out. So it does know the endpoints of the actual slider. You do have to reprogram the endpoints and where you want to start and stop your waypoints at every time. So to start your first waypoint, you're going to press the power button twice. It's going to beep once, and then you're going to manually move it all the way down to the end, or wherever you want your endpoint to be. I will go ahead and we can stop it right here. I'll press the power button twice again, and it's going to beep twice. That'll be your second endpoint. And then to trigger your automatic points, you basically go back and forth. You just press the left or right button along with the power button in tandem, and then it'll do its own thing back and forth based on your endpoints as many times as you want it to go. And yeah, you can see right there, starts going back, and then it should stop at the endpoint that I set, which is right about here. Yep, right there. So yeah, super easy to use. And then if you wanted to get out of that mode, you're just going to press the same buttons, left and then the power button again in tandem, and that'll stop the mode. And then to go back to your manual mode, you'll just press the left and right button twice, and then it'll make like a longer beep, and then you're back to moving it on your own. So yeah, super easy to use. That's really all it has to it. And then I do believe there's an app as well that you can download and adjust the speed of this actual motor, so you can kind of make it more customizable to your liking. And then if you wanted to actually hand push it, you can use this little dial right here. You turn this button up right here, and then it should basically just adjust the resistance and all that there. And then there's a locking mode and unlocking mode if you wanted to make sure that's all set in place. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use. And overall, the build quality on this thing, it is pretty heavy, and it's a nice metal feel to it. My only complaint that the other slider has that this one doesn't is that this can only go back and forth, whereas on the GBM slider here, they have these little adjustment knobs right here. So if you wanted to adjust the way that this swivels, see how it's kind of turning? That I don't think is an option on this setup right here, just because there's really no option for it to, you know, move these tracks on the bottom. So that's only one downside I see to this setup compared to the other, but overall feels much better than the other one, and I think it's gonna last a little longer too. Alrighty guys, to wrap up this video, I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like set up on the tripod. And overall, it's nice and small. It's actually, the form factor is so much smaller compared to the other one we had. We have the supporting rods, and they fit perfectly on this tripod that we have here. And the tripod itself is a really heavy duty one. I'd recommend getting a pretty heavy one, and one that can support a lot of weight, because especially when you have the camera over on the side with the motor, you wanna make sure that, you know, it's not gonna fall over on you. So we got this super nice newer tripod, and it looks really awesome all set up here. And overall, yeah, here's the setup. Got our controls right here, camera right here, and it works just fine on the setup right here. And here is the camera and motor all the way over to the side to show you that. Ooh, and it gets really close to the actual camera. But here's everything set up. I'm showing you here that, you know, you can move it all the way over to the side on a tripod without it feeling any loose or anything. Feels nice and sturdy. So yeah, definitely recommend this slider here. I think it's a really nice upgrade that we have here for the main set, and I've decided to use it for the videos. So that's gonna wrap this video. I'll have affiliate links in the description down below if you wanted to pick up this whole setup here today. And again, appreciate you watching to the end if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.